So the next session is photo master class. But this is so far I think very interesting. From Aishwarya Sridhar was sharing all the conservation, or not only talking how to take initiative, and Mr. Balan Madhavan was telling how photography with even when walking itself we can get lot of new photographs instead of simply going for safaris. And the new Kerala, I seen Munnar and Eravikulam and all. I had been there, but I never seen these things before. In this, because it was taken before from Balan sir photograph. It was amazing photograph session. And today, before Mr. Jagannathan, through Jagannathan, even I came to know lot of information what to do with our photograph as a citizen science. See, simply talking, taking photograph is not enough. We have to contribute more. I hope the session is useful for the audience also whoever attending. Most of them are photographers and nature lovers. Even with even mobile camera also you can take photograph. And the next session is going to be my session. It's a photo master class. It's going to be colors, moods, and rules. Okay. See, we have seen lot of even Instagram, social media, many photographs are everyone is interested to nature photography. And most of the time I used to ask what is the tips to how my photograph looks, any tips for the framing and all. Though like other genre, wildlife photography also we know how to compose, so many other aspects are there. But I am going to cover today how to look for colors in your photograph in the wild, okay, and a few rules to apply, how to apply rules and how to break the rules, and how to capture the emotion in your pictures. Okay, that is little bit advanced, but still I am going to cover. Next 1 hour I am going to talk about my experience and my tips. Hope this is going to be very useful. Let me start my PPT. Just a minute. Yeah. Hope I'm audible, guys. Yeah. Can just tell me? Okay. So, okay. The wildlife itself, I think everyone loves nature. Everyone loves nature because this whole webinar is no people love nature, but same thing, love earth also. And instead of simply loving, taking photograph is not enough. We have to know what's going on in around ourselves. That is the purpose of all the sessions. But this session is going to be a little bit light. Of course, conservation photography, how to do it. We all seen the first three sessions. Today it's going to be the photographers, mostly bird photographers and wildlife photographers. The session is going to help how to frame them. Okay. Of course, the subject, the composition, how we are going to frame it, it's all subjective. Okay. It can be any style, anything you can, as much as your creativeness you can create. But still, if you know few tips how to frame ourselves, then it will be useful. Any photograph, for example, now you are seeing this early morning Kana National Park, okay. For any new audience, okay, that technical thing is immaterial. Only the composition, the framing, that has to be very interesting to attract at least 1 minute. These days, any social media, we are just going through so many images. Even within half second, we are not giving. But only the good images, good quality images, beautiful images will take only 1 hour, at least 1 second. We just stop and check. Okay. And in wildlife, nature itself is a vivid, so much colors. And you would have wondered, okay, beautiful birds. The birds itself, beautiful, colorful birds. So how we are going to see colors. Even the forest, bird sensory, everywhere the colors are there. We have to look for how to include colors in our composition. Okay, I am going to show you few photographs. This is actually even if you ask nature and wildlife photography, it's a early morning Kana National Park. You can see it's a early morning, little bit backlit photograph. And this is Kaziranga National Park. It's so colorful, the grassland, the tree and other green grass. The place itself very colorful. Okay. And this is early morning Bharatpur Bird Sanctuary. You can see the orange. Early morning, the color is the warm yellow color, orange color. This is evening in Corbett National Park. You can see warm yellow, golden color reflecting the water. These are early morning. Any places like sanctuaries, national parks, you have to wait for the sunrise or sunset. If you are getting time to see sunset, sunrise, that is the best time to do good photography and some creative photography. Okay, instead of course, you won't be getting great light, but you can go for some creative framing. Okay. Few colorful photos, like common kingfisher. It's a blue color. The bird itself very colorful. Okay, we did not look for any other color. Only thing you have to concentrate. You are getting clear background. And few colorful birds I am going to show you. Aussie fairy bluebird and what do you say? Sorry. Yeah. The swallow also very blue color. The prominent color is blue. Even blue itself, we have different blues. Okay. Here, peacock is also, we have dark blue and light blue. Of course, the kingfisher. Kingfisher is also all about blue color. But whenever you see the red is there, red color is very prominent. That's why any danger, anything, all the sickness and all, it will be red. Though all the blue color, the red beak is telling me, see me first. Okay, see the red color beak. So these are the beautiful, colorful birds. Kingfisher and purple swanton, the blue color, all the prominent blue color. Photo like this, we did not search for anything. Even the bird itself very colorful. Can you see the red color? The vent. The whole, it's a great barbet. The vent is telling me, does see me. It attracts me first itself. Okay, few colorful birds, red-billed lyricix and messia. When you photograph like this, no, black and white. So usually the question comes how to expose. Most of the time we will overexpose here. So take reading from here, white reading, then automatically we will expose black color, all the other colors. Okay, few colorful bird photographs. Red munia. So even for the birds, only the male will be very beautiful and colorful, little bit beautiful and colorful, but they also, when breeding season, the colors, the plumage colors change. So best time to photograph few birds are breeding season. When they breed, the colorful color they change. Like pond heron is really dull pond heron, looks like a maroon pond heron. Red munia, usually we say red munia. This is male only, but when the breeding season, they become fully red. So this is the best time to photograph them. Malabar parakeet, and see the red. Red color is not prominent, but still small red is also telling me, look at me first. Okay, it's getting attention from me. And blue barbet also. Here the small red is there, but this is also telling me, look at me. Blue-throated barbet. Here the yellow color is little bit prominent, not prominent, but small, but still it's telling me yellow color is very real. Black-breasted weaver, long tail, broad bill, ruddy-celled, and the cattle egret. I told you, white, dull cattle egret, when breeding season, it becomes very colorful, orange color, red color. Red, orange. So Indian white-eye, Oriental magpie robin, black and white and all. So rufous throat flycatcher. This is actually not very dull bird, but small, the rufous color only, it pops up the full screen. Okay, and few more colorful birds. ODFK is only because of the colors, the dull background is also, it really pops up. So now the bird itself colorful, but other than bird, we have to look for the background, any colors are there. Okay, the Sarus crane picture, the gray Sarus crane picture. But if it's any other place, it will be a normal Sarus crane. But luckily, I got them yellow mustard field. So yellow is also giving contrast color of the gray color. So it pops up. So I included these, not only close up, I include the habitat. So yellow mustard field with Sarus crane. This is also one of the Sarus crane preening shot. Can you see the background colors? Actually, background is green grass and some paddy field, mud lake. Okay, so that's why I'm getting two different colors. This is early morning Sariska I took. It's not early morning, evening, sunset time. The lighting itself, golden light. Okay, nearby little bit of mud bund. So because of the reflection, I am getting golden color. And the black-tailed godwit is a common bird, but because of the golden water, it really stands out. One of my favorite photograph. Here also peacock. Usually when we see the people, we will take for close-up. But here I included yellow mustard field. Of course, so not all the time you will get colors, but if time permits, if you have the place like centuries and forests, we can look for other colors also. You can include the different colors on the backgrounds. Okay. Few photographs I am going to show you. Here also white-throated laughing thrush. It's a backlit photograph. Okay, see this color and can you see this flower also? It's a balanced out. Okay, I can go for a little bit close up also. I would have cut this also. But purposefully, I just include this out of focus. I think it's a orange color flower. Okay, out of focus, I just included this in the framing so that it matches. The backlit went and here it matches. And white-throated laughing thrush, one of my favorite photographs. Though same white-throated laughing thrush, but can you see the bouquet, the violet color flowers I included, okay, out of focus bouquet. It gives me really the colorful background. Here also common kukul, but the background is very far. There is something called it's a wild flower tree. It's a yellow flower tree. So I got this yellow color background. Common birds also with beautiful background really stands out. Okay, so when you are composing, we have to check from any colors are coming out. Even the out of focus, the bouquet also, if you are getting any colors, you have to look for it. Here, Indian roller, but just it's actually after rain I took this Indian roller, but the green leaves, no, it was looking this way and the green leaves looking going this way. I balanced. Okay. Nilagiri flycatcher, though my main subject is flycatcher, but I saw this flower also. I just included. It's a sort of balancing. Blue color and red color. It's sort of balancing. I included the flower also. So when you see, when you're composing, if any flower tree is there, any flower background is also, even out of focus flower is also you can include. And Grehara, Bharatpur like places, you will get the background like this, like pink LG and all, no, LG and all, no, you will get background like this. Little Krabi with all the pink colors, water LG, you will get like this. Same thing, yellow-browed bulbul. Of course, you won't get all the time flower tree and all, but whenever you get a wild berry, wild flowers, you can include. Don't go for close-up shots. Include the habit, other things also. Green type sunbird, Sikkim I took. This itself colorful, but can you see the pink color? I include the tree also, little bit pink. Okay, it's a contrast. Actually, the bird is very colorful, but the pink is very little bit light to enhance the bird colors. And Himalayan backloaded, though it's I think black and white color, but see because of the red, of course the flower looks like a overpowering, but I find it a bit sort of balancing. Okay. The other photograph, little spider hunter. The bird is small, but because of the first, this is a light color. Because of the first, it really stands out. Rusty tail flycatcher is also with berries. The blue fronted redstart, you have seen. I could have changed this background, okay, if I change a little bit, but can you see with this blue and grass, I included this yellow also, so that it stands out. Otherwise, it was raining, it was actually a dull background, but purposefully I just included this tree, this leaf on the background. If I change my point of view, I would have avoided it, but I want to include this color so that the bird stands out. Okay. Of course, sometimes you are lucky. You will get the pink tea and brown powder woodpecker. So here also stick the spider hunter. It's I think a little bit pale yellow color, but because of this these two flowers, okay, I want to include this also to just get balancing, so that my eye goes here and I goes there. You know, also because of the pink color, it stands out. The bird is really actually dull color, and I don't know how the nature itself, no, it knows, okay, because of back-faced laughing thrush, it's not a very bright laughing thrush, but because of these flowers, the pink color, it really pops out. It's a common water hen. Because of the red color, it really pops out. Okay, so few times this itself lucky, and the fantail. Of course, it's a really cute fantail. But if you see here is yellow flower out of bouquet, and here is also red color. It's out of bouquet. I included both. So when we go for any sensories, any forest, even wetland also, if you come across different colors, try to include them in a framing. Okay, it's really balancing. That is the one way to say see the photographs also. Next, we are going to see the moods. Of course, in photograph, like Mr. Balan sir photographs, we saw the grassland, and I don't know. He said he couldn't convey the 5 senses, but I can see the vast grassland and the early morning mist, and all. I could feel the image itself reflects same thing in our photograph. Okay, first thing is in wildlife photography, documentation. We just take profile shots, that is called documentation. So after that, what we are going to do? We can wait for some emotions, some interaction in the animals or birds and all. For that, we need little bit subject knowledge. If you know how your subject, how your bird, how your mammal is going to behave, then you can capture good photograph. Okay, most of the accents are, most of the emotions and all, we anticipate how it's going to, how they are going to behave. Then only we can take good photograph. Okay, and few photograph, few emotions like playful, angry, and caring, maybe love also. I am going to see few emotions, how to capture them. Capture them is, see, here nothing is in our control. Okay, they will interact and we have to capture. But if you know when they are going to behave, then we can capture that photograph. Otherwise, we will be just watching it, we will be missing it. Okay, and few photographs. This is in rain. If you see the image itself, I can feel the rain. Okay, few photographs. The mood is also, it's a rainy photograph. We can feel the rain also. And few photographs I am going to see you. This is also elephants in the rain. They are playing, and someone is asking, this is not very soft, a lot of noise. It's a raining, no light. So it will be noise only, perfectly fine. No need of worrying about it's not sharp and it's a lot of noise is there. Perfectly fine because it's a rain photograph. Okay. And here the elephants are enjoying Ramganga river. They enjoying. You can see the accent. We can feel their accent that they're playing in the rain, playing in the water. Okay. So this is also one of the rain photograph. But the both monkeys are sitting on the shade only, but so chill in Corbett National Park. And for the you can feel it's. I think it's so chill. They are just warming up. Okay. The here the Samba dairies I took in Bharatpur. They're playing. Okay, just the running and all. We can see the emotion they're playing. Here is also the small elephant baby is playing with mother. Okay, for elephants they touch both of them. They need lot of touching. Mother will always keeping touching, playing and all. No? Assurance, they give assurance. So I find them, it's very cute wonder. For 5-6 minutes, the baby calf is playing with mother. So I captured this one. Of course, even Grafi also, the baby needs some parenting and all, no, kissing and all. No. This I took in Africa. Here they are just literally playing, okay, on the air, both of them on the air. Fish and tail Jagna, one of my favorite photographs because they're very fast. Okay, they don't take long flight. They usually jump from one place to another place. So I thought I want to take in flight. It's a very tough thing, but I got two of them at the same time. So to get them in flight, how to do it? Actually, you know, they're sitting, okay, and they will be taking off. So first itself you focus and you have to little bit pan. When they take off, you have to pan. So then only you can take photograph. So this was my lucky day. So I got them both of them in the flight and the green background. So I called to Tango. And this is, of course, dancing people. You can see the male and the female. Actually, male is trying to attract female peacock before, okay? But it was going here and there, and the female is walking through them. I was waiting to get male and female same line in one frame. I got them. This is also golden morning, pelican landing. So action I told, you know, early morning, they're just landing. So something is going on. It's not a still image. It's of course a still image, but the image itself some dynamic. As we are just waiting whether they landed or not. No, as a viewers, we'll be checking it's a landed or not. And the good lighting adds to the beautiful picture. Here, can you see the expression, happiness? Okay, even it's still image, but I can feel the Liontail macaw LTM is so happy that seeing the fruit, full fruit. Tamil usually say "Yenake yenaka" சொன்ன மாதிரி எல்லாமே எனக்கா. It's everything for me, literally. So it's happy, no? The eyes you can see the happiness. So that these are the few things. Even still photograph also. Even still any lion, any tiger, any big mammal or any birds, they will be simply sitting. You might be thinking it's a still photograph only. I'm going to do portrait profile. But sometimes they do give some different expression in the face. So that is the time, the fleeting emotion usually we say, that is the time we have to capture. So the best expression for them, no, that we have to wait and capture. Usually after taking one picture, we thought, okay, also over here. But after taking one picture, you have to through your viewfinder. So then only you can capture the emotions, small, like we do have face expression, angry, happiness, everything. No, little bit they do different expression, so that you can capture them. So this is ordinary, simple LTM was having food, okay. But the really that face expression I got only 1 or 2 minutes. After that it started eating, okay. So we have to know when to capture that exact expression. This is spotted owlet preening photograph. Usually they won't come out easily in daytime, but they do come out in winter to preen themselves. They can't do themselves. So other both of them preen. One owlet will be preening the others. No, it looks like suhoon. It's a very calm feeling for this owlet. Okay, it's a very calm feeling, content feeling. You can say here. As soon as you see the photograph, you can see the serene calmness, sweet dreams. Okay, Sleeping Beauty. I gave them Sleeping Beauty. I took them in Serengeti uh, in uh, 2010 something. Still one of my favorite lion cubs. Okay, because the scene it was vast out sky. So I did overexpose. The technique I used is high key photography. Usually high key photography itself give you soft feeling. For the kids and all, no, we do high key photography. The feeling itself you give soft feeling. But here I felt very serene and calm. Okay. Here, the calm dog is trying to land. The others are telling you don't come or something. Someone is landing. Someone is intruding their space. No, everyone is started shouting. That is the time. As I was telling, how to capture the emotions and some action, interaction. So everyone is started shouting. Okay, don't land something. It's our area, our land something. No, that is the thing. When you do group of birds, no, the most common question where to focus. Here my focus is here only. This is the hero calm deck just landing. So everyone is eyes is looking this duck only. So I focus them. Maybe if it's very far, f8 or f9, you will be getting everyone short focus. And here is also trying to steal. Okay, the daughter was catching the fish, and the Indian daughter, the commandant was trying to catch it. Okay. சோர் தோ கை everywhere is there. திருடன் சொல்லுவோம் இல்லையா, தமிழ்ல திருடன் and ஹிந்தியில சோர. Here the angry birds, the calm, very pretty swan hands, no. Usually they will be just going and there, but that day they are fighting. It's really good fight for that day. So you can see actually with legs they are fighting. Angry birds. So few emotions like this, and here I think one of my favorite and most famous photograph. Parakeets are angry and they're biting the monitor lizard. The reason is monitor lizard usually eat eggs, parakeet eggs from the tree trunks. So that's why they're both, even parakeet is also very calm and serene bear. Okay, it will be eating somewhere, simply sitting and eating fruits or simply sitting. But that day it was so aggressive and so and they're trying to chase the monitor like anything. That's very angry. I can see the photo itself, but really they were very angry. Of course, these are the fighting, power fight. It's not very heavy fight. We can say it's a black bear. Power fight usually do. Actually, both of them are not very big one. It's a young black buck only, and very endangered deer family. Yeah, and elephants also fighting. Okay, these are not only heavy fight. Simply they want to practice. So emotions, I just saw few photographs only, but it's lot of things. Even I do the portfolio of parenting, love, and angry, more than 40 pictures. But with 1 hour, only limited photos I could see. But when you photograph, if you wait for some time, after taking profile shots, after taking few photographs, definitely you will come across their interaction, their moods also. It is not, you can't go 1 day or 1 week, you can't get all the emotions. It's like like Jagannathan sir was telling, no, take one place and go again and again. Okay, so that if you know the place, you know the subject also, definitely you will come across different emotions, their interaction, their lifestyle photograph you can document instead of going new places, because each new places you are new. Okay, only documentation only you will get and still photographs. But other than action photography, getting emotions and all, no, you have to go again and again one place. Choose one place, your favorite place, any park, any wetland, any forest, go again and again. Then you can get a good photograph. Okay, so for usually we look colors, how to input colors in a composition, AFC, how to capture the emotions. Okay, that's a little bit advanced, but still definitely if you go again and again, if you know your subject, you will come across, you can capture the emotion. And other basic next thing I am going to explain, composition rule. Okay, of course, like any other genre of photography, the nature photography is not only about wildlife photography, the nature photography only I am talking. There are few rules if you apply. Okay, your photograph is composition should be strong. Of course, it's a subjective. Composition itself subjective. There is no best, there is no bad. Okay, like we said, no good photograph, no bad photograph. It's all subjective. But still, if you are new to nature photography, if you don't know how to compose, few rules are there, and we can know how to break the rule also. I am going to explain simple 4 rules. Any nature photography, like bird photography, landscape also, and mammals also. First thing is simplicity, and the rule of that, fill the frame, eye level shot. Most of, if you are already doing photography, you would have known these rules also, but this is for someone doing new to nature photography. I'm explaining few photographs with the rules. Simplicity, like any other genre of photography, only the emphasis on the main subject. Okay, no distraction, cluster free. For bird photography, that's why we need long steady lens. Okay, the background will be out of focus. This type of bokeh, because of the long steady lens we will be using. Like Madhavan sir was telling, Balan Madhavan was telling, you have to use different photo camera for cameras for different lenses for different purpose. But most of the time, bird photography, we will be using long telelens for the profile shots. Because with uh, wide angle, you won't be getting very near. That's why minimum 300 mm or 400 mm you need to use for the bird photography. This was taken with 600 mm photography. But zoom lens, you won't be getting this type of background. Okay, it's only prime lens you will get this type of background. But no problem, even zoom lens also you will get. If you are including background, it's a fine. You can include the habitat also. Okay, but only the background should be cluster free. Okay, few photographs. Simplicity to होना चाहिए. There is always exception. Okay, here I told you simplicity, but this is not simple photograph. This is a distraction. Lot of distractions are there. But action is going on. My eye goes straight to here. So there is always exception. Okay, if it's what do you say? Even though it's a distracted, it's a clustered, but it still looks good. It's a good photograph. Here, I took it in Corbett National Park. Okay, actually this was interesting story. We are waiting for the tiger to come out. Left side call I am getting, right side is also call is coming. So I was waiting, the tiger will be coming maybe in front and all. Then suddenly after 10-15 minutes, he thought, okay, it's been long time, he will go. Then if I just turn back, this cub was sitting here. So with 80 mm, I took with full frame. Though it looks like a distraction, but still inside the camouflage, for me, it's very good photography. Okay, full frame. This is also spotted download giving me expression, shocking expression. Though it's not a very not clear means, though the not very clear background and all, but still the action is going on. Something is looking shocking. It's fine. So there is always some exception. Here is also I told you simplicity, no distraction. But this one I took it in Tadoba because it gave me direct eye contact. So my focus is on here. It looks like habitats are perfectly fine. Okay. The other important, I think, most famous, most used rule is rule of third. Even your camera also, we have what do you say? Grid is there. In camera, you have to on your grid. Grid is on means you can see by image by image. It's not. It won't be there. You have to need not draw and all. No, just your screen. If you draw 2 vertical lines, 2 horizontal lines, you will be getting 4 points. Okay. The rule is if you keep your subject, okay, any one of the intersections, then the composition is your photograph will be pleasant enough and be strong. That is the rule. So here we have four interesting sweet points usually say, but where to keep your subject? Few photographs I am going to show you. Yeah, excuse me. Here, my green bee eater, I kept green bee eater here, the first top intersection. Okay, the full frame shot. Rule of third, usually you'll be wanting rule of third, how you will apply in wildlife photography, even bird photography also. This is the way. Here I kept my eye on the first intersection. Here you would have imagine, this is also first intersection. My 2 ducks here I kept rule of third. Can you imagine? Can you tell me where I kept? Okay, the bottom one. Here, bottom one. Habitat sort of Grahara. Here I kept. Okay. So same thing here also. Bottom intersection I kept. Can you tell me? Can you guess where I kept rule of third? Okay, it seems to be tight composition, but you can see the first. Actually, sometimes you can use both intersection also. Here I tried. I kept my first cross point. I kept the tail and the beak is touching here. Okay, this way also in the close-up photograph, it does help us to compose. How to compose? Okay, here the bottom point I kept my elephant. Few examples. Can you guess where how we apply here. Rule of third. Can you guess? Then I will show you. Yeah. Yeah, sorry. Yeah. Here I kept. Okay. Top right side I kept my head of the Saras crane, and here the bottom. So we have to decide which intersection you are going to keep your subject. Okay, but it's a rule. You can always break the rule, but it has to make a sense. If you are breaking the rule, still the photograph has to make sense. Then only it will be good. Otherwise, won't be good. So I am breaking the rule. There is no rule at all. The Ascipernias usually they won't perch like this. It's an unusual perch. So I am keeping center, but it's looking directly towards me. Okay. So I am breaking the rule, but still it makes sense. Next, very important, not important, when people started wildlife photography, there is always this thing, fill the frame. Okay, the fill the frame rule is very, people say, even when we started, if it's not close up, then you are not a good photographer. Even if you're going to Africa, coming back, they want to see close up lion shot, close up elephant shot. With habitat shot, they know you are not good, it's not a good photograph. So usually those days, fill the frame. That is, you are filling your subject with your frame, you are filling your subject. So this is also fill the frame. The whole frame I am filling the portrait of white-throated kingfisher. Here also permanent fishing I am filling the frame. Okay, and Steffi eagle. There is no little bit space is there, but mostly 90% I am filling the frame with my subject. Here is also I am filling with my frame subject. Close up tiger shot, filling the frame, and this one is yeah. So almost all the habitat shots are you are not filling the. This is habitat of same Surly digress. I'm adding the background. I love always shooting tigers on the road. Okay, showing the habitat, everything. So most of the habitat shots are you are not you are breaking the rule. You are not filling the frame. Okay, because only the subject is taking only small part of the frame. All the habitat, your tiger is taking only small part. Instead of your full tiger picture, you can see no tiger picture is you are filling the frame or whole photograph full tiger. The next one is only small part it takes. Okay, most of the habitat shots are not filling the frame. Same thing, elephant habitat shot in Corbett. Same, elephant is coming, walking on the Sambar road in Corbett. So you are not filling the frame. And pelican is also not filling the frame, habitat shot. But can you guess, I applied one more rule also here, rule of third and habitat shot. And next one is very important, eye level shot. Okay, most of the even any wildlife photography, any bird photography, if you shoot them in eye level, the impact is really different. Okay, this one I took in tiger eye level, so not very near. If you go a little bit very far, okay, back very little bit back, if you go, you can get an eye level photograph. This is also most of the water birds to get a eye level, you have to lie down, otherwise you have to crawl. Then only you will get a eye level photography. The benefit of having eye level photography, the background will be smooth bokeh. Okay. This is also vulture eye level and few eye level photographs. Okay. A peregrine falcon, LRK I took. So how to, this is actually perching on the ground. Okay, from car only we have to take, going from the car, you just get down, you have to crawl little bit. Then only you will get a high level photograph of the falcon. So most of the time, the birds will be sitting on the tree only. Okay, so tree, it's a bird will be sitting on the not our eye level. It's very far. You have to see like this. But if you go very near to tree from like this, if you see your bird, it will be like this. Point of view will be different. But the same time, to get eye level photography, if you go a little bit behind, okay, little bit further away from the tree, then from the lens to camera, if the impression gives you eye level photography. Okay, this is the way usually when you use long lens from distance, the tree on the bird on the tree looks eye level photography. One example, see, this is actually it was perching on top of the tree. Okay, from the far, very little bit, very further, I think 5 feet away, I took this photograph. It looks like a eye level photography. So most of the drafters will be sitting on like that only. You have to go a little bit further to look like a eye level photograph. The eye level shot, what I told you, one of the benefit is the background. See, this one is eye level gray like goose. You can see the background. The same group I took from standing. Okay, the point of view is different. You can see the background. So this is not good, no. So if you lie down, you will get background like this. That is the best one. Yeah, sometimes they won't be. You won't be even if you go. You can't go further away at all. Sometimes there will be some limitation. There will be a bush will be there. We can't go further away. We have to take like this only. There are exceptions you can take because you are just sighting the bird, and this is a long bill vulture shot. There is no way I can take from further. So I took a record shot. The another not very important, but one of the interesting rule is also flow will be left to right. As a human, that also South Asian, we usually see our eye goes here and our eye goes to the here. Usually we say leading to the subject also can say. The leading to the subject will be left to right. Okay. Then the photograph has to be good. Usually see all the flamingos, the flow is from left to right. Our eye goes here like this. So I gave more space here because you have to give where it's looking more space. Here also the left to right. Okay. Here also the left to right. But always you can break the rule. Okay. Right to left is also fine. Here the swan hands are running from right to left. Perfectly fine. So when you break the rule, it has to make sense. Here, the tiger in Corbett, it's going right to left only. Perfectly fine, habitat shot. So these are the rules and moods and colors how to we use. So today full day, first off and all, the importance of biodiversity. So it's not for wildlife, or only one genre of wildlife photography is not about only us, it's for everyone. Because of, even for photography also, if you ask me, because of wildlife photography, you start learning about habitat. What is the habitat of birds and animals? The forest, then the importance of forest. So this is the best way to know our fauna and flora, the importance of biodiversity, importance of forest. Okay, that's a good thing to starting photography to everything. So conserving wildlife habitats are important to balance the biodiversity. And most of the time, we easily say plant trees whenever possible, and we can associate with any NGO where the planting trees and all going on. Small things. And we can say no to plastic and non-biodegradable materials also. Okay. Yeah. Now we can go for, yes. I hope the session is useful. Let me go through your question and answer session. Thank you, Sayani. Thank you. Manoj, we can move distraction through cloning. Don't do cloning and all. Don't do anything. Keep as it is. It's a nature. Okay. And Sandeep, typical breeding season for many birds, I think summer they breed. Most of the resident birds are summer they breed. Before the rain, they do nesting and all. But the breeding season is best. But for that, we have to go centuries. Other places don't disturb nesting birds. Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Saini. Karthik Prakash, can we not have such workshop session, wildlife resource in JLR, create the awareness? JLR is very costly. Of course, there are many other places also we can have workshops, such workshops and all. Do you conduct live session to review pictures of other photographers, Karthik? Maybe if I get time, I will do that. Okay. Recommend some editing app, ma'am. Okay. Editing app is, I think, Photoshop is good for most of the raw files and all. No, you can edit. And for camera photography, Snapchat, lot of free app is there. Any other questions? Let me check my Facebook also. Question and answer session. Hope the session is useful, guys. Yeah. Right. Any other questions? Ma'am, how to get permission to enter the forest? Forest actually, most of the forest have website outside. You can get safari permission from there. Otherwise, you can go for any agents also. Mohan is asking, approaching birds by wearing ghillie suit is better than approaching them with distance. Yeah, approaching with distance is better because see, all the birds have their circle of fear. Okay, they have some usually say comfort zone. If you enter the comfort zone, they will get disturbed. So better always you respect your subject and wait for them. Then you can go. Yes, Karansa, post the recorded video. The video will be here in Facebook. Okay, you can watch again and also the previous session and this session also. If you forgot also, you can watch again here. Drop in. The videos will be here only in my Facebook fan page. Thank you, Krishna. Thank you, Venkatesh. Precautions need to be taken while capturing predators and venom species. So predators, we have to be very careful. Okay, that I want to snack photo. Oh, predators. See, in safari, predators, they won't attack us. They are not a man eater. Okay, so when we are going in the national park, in tiger safari, we have to do photograph from the vehicle only, jeep only. We are not supposed to get down. As soon as you get down, it's a rule breaking. We are not supposed to get down. If you get down from the vehicle, if a tiger is there, then no, that's all. Okay. If we are moving the tiger thing, we are predator. So defense, it may attack us. So better be there in the vehicle only. Africa, anywhere, we have to sit on the vehicle, do photography. For bird sanctuary, you can walk because there won't be no predators. Okay. Thank you, Krishna. Thank you. Hope the session is useful. And we do have an interesting session in 4 o'clock, 4 to 7:30. And waders and raptors, about waders, like Aravind Vengatam is going to talk about wadder photography. Ganesh Jairam is going to talk about raptors also. So we are going to get lot of information where they will get habitat, everything. So do join us 4 o'clock. And any question for this session? Yes. Thank you, Swarna. Thank you. Lakshmi, do you plan for your search before getting to the field? So almost Lakshmi, I think for me, 10-20 pre-visualized search will be there. Okay. So when I go there, I'll try to get that type of what I pre-visualize. Okay, like Corbett, other sensories and all, even Bharatpur also. But sometimes what we visualize, we won't be getting. So 50% I will be the back of my mind. I will be ready for what I was visualized, and 50% when whatever I am getting, I plan in the field. Then I execute. Okay. Shiny challenges shooting wildlife because challenges, everything is challenges because here subject is not won't take any orders from you. We have to wait for them, and the extreme climate is also challenging. That too, especially for bird photography, my bird photographer friends will know they have to walk a lot. Okay, so you have to be mentally and strong, physically also strong. Pond run, which software use for post processing? I use Adobe Photoshop. Of course, Lightroom is also very good. Okay. Kashmir, I am yet to visit here. No Kashmir. Karthik, recommend any other popular birding destination other than Bharatpur? Definitely Saptal, Little Rana of Kutch, and I think Orissa also, Mangala Jodi, Great and GRK, Jamnagar, and many, even Arunachala Pradesh, Sikkim, Eagle Nest, lot of many places are there. Of course, Tatakad is also there. Since Mohan is asking, birds are fast in movements, how can compose that flower bouquet and the ideas that you said, ma'am, in colors? See, sometimes for the flower nectar and all, for to feed flower nectar, the bird will be sitting few more minutes. Of course, they are very fast, but when they are meeting, will be waiting to feed the nectar and all. For feeding flowers and other fruits and all, they will be sitting. உட்கார்ந்தாலும் சாப்பிட முடியும், கொஞ்ச நேரம் உட்காராது, சாப்பிட்றதுக்காக உட்காரும்போது அப்ப நாம எடுக்கணும். ஓகேவா? And any significant difference between wildlife photography in observation of wildlife? Difference between wildlife photography. So difference, but we know subtechnology is very important to do wildlife photography. Okay. What do you keep yourself fit for? Wildlife safari and shoot. So wildlife safari for the tiger shoots, there is no need to walk. You can sit on a jeep, but still the jeep goes to and the bumpy rides. Okay, a little bit exercise is definitely needed, and fit also. This is for wildlife only. Yeah, but beginners mobile photography, lot of YouTube available. Venki, see, prime lens is for close-ups. Okay, but if you want only one lens, then I suggest zoom lens you prefer, because there is habitat shot you can take like 200, 500. Habitat shot you can take 200, and close-up you can take 500. So, but professionals, you can go for one prime. Go for, I use my prime lens for bird close-ups 800 mm and 80 to 400 for the habitat shot mammals. 2 lenses necessary. Okay, that's definitely Meena. I do carry small emergency kit. Top 5 favorite composition. I have lot of favorite composition. Okay, Venki, both lenses are good. Use sharp images using camera and lenses. Yet, see, getting sharp images depends on 2-3 things. One, you have to use tripod and your aperture, how much aperture you are setting. Of course, the lens qualities also depends. Okay, but you need to use tripod. Okay, go for f7 or f8 in your lens. Definitely, you will get sharp. Send me 2-3 picture, Venki, then I will tell you why it's not sharp. Okay. Okay, guys, thank you so much for joining today.